Thank you, Jillian. An 18-year-old is in jail with no bond after the Tuscaloosa County Violent Crimes Unit says he shot and killed his friend Saturday night. This happened in the parking lot of the Embassy Suites on University Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. We're told the suspect, 18-year-old Jackson Luke Overton of Winfield, wasn't staying at the hotel but had parked there to visit bars nearby with his friend, 21-year-old Howell Booth Holland of Fayette. Police say the two got into an argument around 9 p.m. that ended with Overton shooting Holland once, killing him. Again, Overton is in jail with no bond. We have new information on a house fire in Birmingham. We learned this morning that a woman has died from her injuries. This happened on Fulton Avenue Thursday. Firefighters pulled Helen McCarroll from the home, but the Jefferson County coroner says she died the next day. Investigators are working to find out how the fire started. New now at 11, two women and a baby are safe this morning after a huge tree fell on their car. This happened on Glass Drive in Vestavia Hills yesterday just after 5 o'clock. And this is new video of the scene there. Vestavia police confirming to us this morning that the women and the baby were driving down the road when the tree fell, but thankfully they were able to get out safely. Some areas saw major flash flooding over the weekend from heavy rain showers and thunderstorms. This is video of the Bessemer Superhighway, which flooded last night. A Bessemer police officer tells us they had to rescue someone who was stuck in their car earlier in the day. Police were directing traffic around that flooded area. And we have some video of flooding outside of Vestavia Bowl last night. This is a common problem when there's heavy rain there. You can see that water coming up to the ankles of some of the people there. Many drivers trying to get out of the parking lot while they could. Unfortunately, we could see some more storms and showers this afternoon. Matt Daniel joins us now. Matt, I was watching Lauren last night. She was talking about some of the scattered showers we may see this afternoon.
Yeah, I think yesterday was our best chance to see rain widespread across the area. Today, it's going to be a little bit more limited, especially for East Alabama. And that's why we don't have a heat advisory out for areas east of 65. But we do have a heat advisory for West Alabama today and tomorrow, where it could feel like it's near 105. So definitely going to have to start thinking about doing those outdoor activities earlier in the day and also staying hydrated. Definitely got to worry about those high school football players or the marching bands that are going to be practicing out in this kind of heat. It can be pretty dangerous, so make sure they stay hydrated before and afterwards. We got temperatures right now in the mid 80s. In fact, we're seeing plenty of sunshine. Here's a view from Hoover. You can see just a partly cloudy sky sitting in at 85, but it feels very warm and muggy. In fact, when you factor in the humidity, already feels like it's well into the mid to upper 90s, already feeling like it's 100 in Demopolis, and that's why we have that heat advisory out for West Alabama today. Thankfully, nothing to worry about on radar, so if you got lunch plans, we're looking pretty good. But good idea to monitor the First Alert Weather app because we could see a little disturbance or two to the north make its way into Alabama later on today, giving us a chance for some scattered showers and storms. But not everyone will see rain. But just like yesterday, we have to worry about the chance for heavy rain, potential flooding, and of course can't rule out a strong storm, some gusty winds and lightning. Highs today in the upper 80s, but if you live in West Alabama, likely seeing those temperatures climbing into the low 90s. It's going to be very hot and muggy all week long. We'll talk about that and our rain chances coming up in my full forecast. Claire?
Thank you, Matt. A man is now behind bars in Calhoun County after the sheriff's office says he stabbed someone Saturday night. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office says they found a man lying in Church Street in Hobson City with a stab wound in his chest. The deputy performed CPR. That victim was taken to UAB where he is still being treated for life-threatening injuries. Deputies took O'Shea Dontrell Ball into custody for first-degree assault. He's being held on a $20,000 bond. Covering Etowah County with an update on a recent water main break in Gadsden that left thousands of you with low water pressure. The Gadsden Waterworks and Sewer Board's general manager says his department is learning from this. It's reviewing its response to the situation and how well the employees performed their jobs.
Since the water was cut off, we were able to also put in a much needed valve into the system that'll be used for years to come to be able to isolate the main in the case that something else happens like that. The guys just did a phenomenal job. Can't talk enough about how heroic their efforts are.
Chad Hare says the repair cost is more than $10,000. Well, mail drop boxes are now missing from two local post offices. Vestavia Hills Post Office removed its mailboxes after a hit and run last week. And in Gardendale, the U.S. Postal Service confirms mailboxes were taken down after a break-in. It's the second incident at that location this year. We've reached out to the Postal Service and are waiting to learn when those drop boxes will be replaced. But of course, the major concern now is whose mail was stolen.
My mom is 95 and she had mailed an order off and she has not received her items and her check hasn't cleared the bank, so we are concerned that hers might have been something that was stolen.
Well, if you think your mail has been stolen, you are asked to call police. You can also file a report online. Vestavia Hills police say no mail was stolen at their location. Right now, work is underway on a busy Tuscaloosa County road. Crews are resurfacing and installing new guardrails along Highway 216 between State Route 215 and Lock 17 Road in Brookwood. The project starts 2 weeks after it was originally scheduled to and will continue through the end of the year. The lanes will remain open between 6:30 and 8:30 a.m. and on weekends when the University of Alabama has home football games. A major milestone for a project that city leaders say will transform part of Birmingham's South Side. A topping out ceremony was held Friday to mark the halfway point for one building in the new Edge Hill at Southtown Housing in Birmingham. Now, topping out is when the last beam is placed on the structure. This is part of the redevelopment of the Southtown community.
Being able to provide housing for independent seniors at 62 and older, it really warms my heart because I see my grandmother in the residents that'll be coming here. We've met with various senior residents and telling them about the project, giving them an overview of what we're going to provide to them with this development when it's completed.
Now, crews are wrapping up the framing of the building and will then start working on the inside. Next on Now at 11, gift card scams. We're on your side with the new tricks scammers are trying to pull to get you to send them money and how you can protect yourself. Plus, cracking down on vape shops. We're on your side with the new moratorium in Hoover. And back to school costs, how you can save money on those back to school supplies.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than the Wbrc First Alert Weather Team.
Warning you first as a team with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast, built to see weeks, days, even minutes ahead, down to where you live from the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better, the Wbrc First Alert Weather Team, always on your side.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hey parents! Level up your college kids' space with Flipsy's Furniture. Our 5-piece bedroom sets start at $9.99, all in stock and ready for next day delivery to all local campuses. Turn their dorm into a dream pad this year. Flipsy's Furniture, where your student space gets a serious upgrade.
Well, the city of Hoover now has a moratorium on new CBD and vape stores. City leaders say they are taking 6 months to make sure business owners are obeying the law when it comes to selling these products. Councilmember Steve McClinton says the city and police department will also monitor the current CBD and vape stores to make sure they aren't selling to teenagers.
Council has learned from the city that complaints have arisen, and so it's our duty to be judicious with the taxpayers' money and use those resources amicably to make sure that the kids and youth are not being, mishandled.
City leaders say they want time to research the issue and come up with better regulations, but the moratorium will help keep down the number of these businesses in the meantime. We are on your side with a warning about gift card scams turning violent. Scammers are now using threats to trick people into sending them money. Sometimes scammers text innocent people claiming to be a loved one in trouble. They may claim to be in a car accident and need money for legal fees, asking you to buy a gift card and send them the code. AARP reports roughly 1 in 4 adults who were contacted by scammers reportedly bought gift cards. The big takeaway is if anyone asks you to send money through a gift card, it's almost always a scam. These criminals like gift cards because they are hard to trace. AARP Alabama says these fraudsters want to put you in a panic so you don't stop and think.
They'll say, you know, we are going to do something terrible to you, to your family. You'll be arrested. Your family member's in danger. We're going to, in some cases, talking about kidnapping. There are all kinds of ways that they terrify people into acting without thinking.
Now, when it comes to how scammers get your contact information, AARP says they can scrape data off the internet and buy information from websites. They also warn that you should be wary of information you share on social media because it can also be used against you. Tourism leaders from across Alabama are coming to Tuscaloosa and sticking around for a while. West Alabama's largest city is hosting a statewide tourism conference. Your West Alabama reporter Kelvin Reynolds is in Tuscaloosa with more.
The Alabama Governor's Conference on Tourism is going on right now in Tuscaloosa. 300 people are attending this three-day conference. Convention and hospitality groups, restaurants, hotels, and the Alabama Tourism Department are among those who are participating. Events around this conference are happening at Hotel Capstone and the Bryant Conference Center on the University of Alabama campus. Organizers invited speakers and arranged educational sessions where attendees can network and learn new strategies to boost tourism around the state. Those visitors spend money that support municipalities, and those visits help create jobs.
Just for Tuscaloosa County alone, visitor spending was almost $1 billion last year. So to sit here and say that tourism doesn't have an impact in our community is incorrect. Tourism, we had probably around 2.8 million visitors last year that came to Tuscaloosa County, and as a state, the impact was $24 billion of visitor spend last year as well.
The hospitality and tourism industry employs around 10,400 people in the Tuscaloosa area. You can imagine those folks are going to be pretty busy about a month from now when the college football season finally kicks off. In West Alabama, Kelvin Reynolds, WBRC. Fox 6 News on your side.
Well, if you're at the lake, definitely want to have the sunscreen, but also monitor the app. We could see some storms, but we're also having to deal with the heat and humidity. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up right after the break.
Get a delicious deal